Hey everybody, it's me Lone, back with the Fight 76 video, and a while back I promised you a comparison video between the T65 Power Armor and the newly introduced Hellcat Power Armor to tell you which one was the best in the game. Well, that video is finally here, but I'm putting a bit of a twist on it because we'll be throwing in a third Power Armor into the mix, and my answer as to what the best Power Armor in the game in 2021 is might surprise you in the end. So if you enjoy this video, if it helps, please like it, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, with notifications if you can, and let's get to the video. Alrighty, we're here in the game at Westech, and before we actually get to comparing the three sets of power armor that I want to test out in today's video, I do want to show you my build, and in particular make a point as to why I'm keeping a lot of the perk cards, mods, mutations, etc. when I'm testing out these power armor sets, because usually what I would do in videos like this is take out a lot of those additional boosts to show you how these power armor sets operate from their base stats. However, I do think there is a benefit showing you these power armor sets and how they operate when you do have all those things in, because when you're actually using these power armor sets in the game, you're going to have your proper build. You're going to have your perk cards, you're going to have your mutations, you're going to have your mods and your legendary perk cards, etc. So when I'm showing you these power armor sets in action with all those things operating, I'm actually showing you the max potential of these power armor sets when they're optimized and how well that they can actually reduce damage in the game. And so long as, a certain power armor set is not unfairly boosted, compared to the other power armors, then it's still a fair comparison. For instance, I don't have legendary effects on any one of these power armor sets because I don't want one to have overeaters and one to have no legendary effects, because then yes, it's an unfair comparison. So I hope that that's clear, and that's why we'll be using the build that we're using in this video. So let me quickly show you what we're rocking. In terms of mutations, these are what I have. The main one here to consider is Empath, really, because while that does increase the damage you take, it also reduces the damage that you take in a team. Even if you're alone, you can still be in a public team and Empath will still be operating. And when you combine that with Class Freak, it's even better. So these are the mutations that I have, and then in terms of the perk cards, these are the ones that I have. A pretty stock standard, low health bloodied power armor build, heavy gunner of course, but as you can see, I'm keeping in perk cards like blocker, I'm keeping in perk cards like dodgy, I'm keeping in perk cards like ricochet, because these are all going to help reduce my damage and show you just how effective these power armor sets can be when you have a proper build. And then even then, look at my legendary perk cards. The main one here is electric absorption. I have this maxed out because you should be using electric absorption when you're using power armor in the game. And it's also healing you, as you're going to see when we do these tests. So they're the legendary perk cards. The other ones don't really matter. Perk cards again. And I'll show you the power armor sets now. And first up, we got the T65 power armor. So as you can see with the T65 power armor, it is all level 50, of course, and none of these pieces have legendary effects on. And the only thing that I want to add is that for all of these power armor sets, including the T65, I'm going to be having emergency protocols, because again, if you are a low health build using power armor, you should have emergency protocols, because it's going to reduce your damage even more. And then yeah, that's the chest. These are the legs. As you can see, it has calibrated, just increasing your carry weight. Doesn't really apply here, but so long as you can see that it is going to be a fair comparison. And then here are the arms with no mods, and again, no legendary effects, so there's no unfair advantage. So let's see how this T65 power armor operates when we go into Westech, or actually we're just going to stay outside here, and I'm not going to shoot anyone or anything, and I just want to see how I stay alive, because I could tell you what the actual resistance stats are when it comes to the T65, and if you want to know, like, I can just stand here and I know I'm not going to die. The T65, in terms of base resistance, has a damage resistance of 565, an energy resistance of 470, and a radiation resistance of 470. The reason why I don't want to focus on those resistance stats is because that resistance doesn't matter that much in the game, because once you get to the 300-350 stage in the game, there are diminishing returns beyond that point, especially with power armor, because power armor has an inherent 42% damage reduction in the game, okay? And that's ballistic damage, for instance, like these bullets that these enemies are shooting at me now. So because all power armor has that, they're all good. All of them are good, okay? And the only real difference between the Power Armor, aside from the Hellcat, we'll get to that in a second, the only real difference when it comes to other Power Armor in the game is the resistances, okay? And as I said, resistances aren't that important, especially when you have 42% damage reduction. And when you also have the perk card, a legendary perk card, Electric Absorption, helping you when it comes to energy damage. So this is why Power Armor, no matter which one you use, is so freaking good in the game, and which is why I can simply stand here and I'm not dying, I'm actually getting healed, right, faster than I'm getting damage in the game. So this is the T65, okay, and this is how it operates. The next Power Armor set that I want to show you is the Hellcat Power Armor. But as you can see, where is it? Where is my chest piece? The chest piece here, again, level 50, and it has emergency protocols like the T65. And as you can see, Hellcat Power Armor reduces your incoming ballistic damage by 2%. This is why the Hellcat Power Armor is better than the T65 when it comes to ballistic damage by far. It's not even a comparison, even though technically the damage resistance of the Hellcat is lower than the T65. And I'll tell you those stats in a second. Because it has that effect, your ballistic damage is going to be way reduced when you're using Hellcat Power Armor, okay? So let me stand back in the middle of these super mutants, and I'll tell you the resistance stats of the Hellcat so you know. So in terms of base resistance stats, let me get them up. So the damage resistance is 436, the energy resistance is 320, and the radiation resistance is 320. So again, with the resistances, T65 is better across the board, but because of that inherent effect when it comes to the Hellcat is actually better with damage reduction. However, of course, the T65 is better when it comes to energy reduction, but because you have access to the legendary perk card, Electric Absorption, which again you should be using, you could see how well this thing operates even though I'm getting energy damage. It's from one of these super mutants is shooting me with a laser rifle. But again, this is how the Hellcat practically operates in the game with no other boosts. I don't think I showed you the rest of the pieces. So as you can see, these are pretty standard. No mod level 50, no mod level 50. Helmet, no mod of course. No mod there, no mod there. So exactly the same compared to the T65 that I was showing you just before. But as you can see, it operates the exact same. It's literally the exact same, okay? So when people have this argument as to which is better, T65 or Hellcat, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. They're both really good. This is why the comparison, like, I don't want to get into particular numbers and any of that crap, because in the real world, practically, these are how these Power Armor sets are going to be operating, you know, when it comes to intense combat situations, like against a bunch of super mutants that are pretty high leveled, okay? So that's my answer when it comes to the T65 versus the Hellcat. It doesn't fucking matter. They're both great, and you're going to be enjoying both of them a lot, all right? But now, let me show you the third Power Armor set that I want to be testing in this video. And that is the Excavator Power Armor. Now, some people might be thinking, why the hell are you comparing the Excavator Power Armor to the Hellcat or the T65? It is way worse. In terms of stats, yes it is, okay? But the reason why, sorry, I accidentally entered in. I'm going to go back over here. The reason why the Excavator is so good is not because of its resistance stats, but it's because it gives you an extra 100 carry weight. And you know how beneficial that is in a game like Fallout 76. Do I need to repair one of these? I do need to repair the leg, just to make sure that it doesn't die in the middle of this video. So let's go back here. So the benefit of the Excavator Power Armor is that it has an extra 100 carry weight, and that is so good in the game. I don't need to describe why, especially because when you have Power Armor and you can't have Unyielding to boost your strength and get more carry weight, having an extra 100 carry weight is freaking amazing when it comes to using the Excavator in the game. And even though, let me tell you the base stats of resistances when it comes to the Excavator. So the Excavator, when it is full level, and I'll show you the pieces that I have in a second, the damage resistance is 240, the energy resistance is 240, and the radiation resistance is 366. So way less than the Hellcat, way less than the T65, okay? But I'm not dying. Look at how well I'm surviving, just as well as the T65, just as well as the Hellcat, okay? Even though they have way higher stats, even though the Excavator doesn't have that reduction in ballistic damage like the Hellcat does, it is still working just as well, because as I said to you before, all power armor has 42% inherent damage reduction. That's why they operate also well. So long as you also have the Electric Absorption legendary perk card, especially maxed out, pretty much all power armor in the game are going to be operating effectively the same. You can see with the Excavator, it is taking a little bit more damage. You might die a little bit more often if you're not careful with the Excavator, but I'm standing here in the middle of high-level super mutants and I'm not dying. I'm not even trying because of how my build is set up. And again, let me show you the outcast pieces that I have. So the helmet, again, no legendary effects. The Outcast Power Armor maxes out at level 45, but as you can see, I just have targeting here, so nothing much there. Again, I have emergency protocols on this Outcast Power Armor here, level 45 as well. No mods on the arms because there's nothing really useful there. And then the legs, where are the legs? The legs are calibrated to give me even more carry weight. So I might die. Actually, no, I'm not going to die. See, I almost died with the Excavator because it does, like, as I said, when you're talking about resistances in the game, when you get to that 300, 350 level, that's when diminishing return starts to operate. But the Excavator is a little bit below that. As I showed you before with the stats, it's 240 damage resistance and 240 energy resistance. So yes, in terms of stats, the Excavator is a little less tanky, but it's still freaking amazing. And this is why I'm going to say that the Excavator Power Armor is the best in the game. I genuinely think that this is the power armor you should be using all the time because it still will keep you alive even as a low health build. You just need to be slightly more careful, okay? You just need to have your build maxed out like I'm showing you in this video. And if you have that, if you have maxed out Electric Absorption, if you have all the other perk cards like Dodgy and whatnot, you are going to stay alive almost as much as the T65 and Hellcat. And to be honest, if you're careful, you'll stay alive just as much, thanks to that inherent 42% damage reduction, because that, again, all power armor has that. So that is my answer. The Excavator Power Armor is the best power armor in the game, because look at my freaking carry weight, 476, even in power armor, even without any unyielding boosts. And if you want to make it even better, roll it with the legendary effect Overeaters. Because Overeaters is going to reduce your damage by even more, right? But as you can see here, that's still not 1000% necessary. You can do just fine if there's another legendary effect that you want to be using, even if you want to be maxing out a bunch of your other ones. So, I still haven't died and I used one stim pack, okay? But if I'm playing the game properly, of course I'm going to freaking kill them. Like, I'm not going to let them just take, all the attacks on me. They're all going to die. I guarantee you I'm rarely going to die using Excavator Power Armor. So I hope this video helps you. When it comes to rolling your legendary effects, make sure, I reckon, you use Excavator because it's going to get you by in every single situation, almost as good or even just as good as the T65 or Hellcat if you're careful. And yeah, roll all your legendary effects and benefit from the increase in carry weight. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the conclusion of the video. Alrighty, Wastelanders, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.